The story of the Rijks Museum in Amsterdam. A long time ago, the people of Amsterdam wanted a place to keep their most beautiful art and treasures. They wanted everyone to see these treasures and learn about Dutch history. So the idea for the Rijks Museum was born. Would you like to know more? Let's go back in time and hear the story. A new idea for a museum. In the year 1800, the government of the Netherlands decided to create a museum. At first, the museum was small, and it was not in Amsterdam. It was in a city called The Hague. Back then, it was called the National Art Gallery. But soon, people realized the museum needed a bigger home. The best place for it would be Amsterdam, a city full of culture and history. So the museum moved to Amsterdam in 1808, thanks to King Louis Bonaparte, Napoleon's brother, who loved art and wanted more people to enjoy it. Designing a new building. As more and more people visited the museum, the government knew they needed a larger building. So, in 1876, they asked Pierre Cuypers, a famous Dutch architect, to design a brand new museum. Cuypers had a big dream. He wanted the museum to be beautiful and grand, just like the famous cathedrals of Europe. His design mixed two styles, Gothic and Renaissance. That means the building would have tall arches, big windows, and detailed decorations. A palace for art. The construction of the new Rijksmuseum began in 1876 and took 8 years to complete. Finally, in 1885, the museum opened its doors to the public. It looked like a palace for art, with red bricks, towers, and large windows. People were amazed by how beautiful it was. The inside of the building was just as grand. There were high ceilings, long hallways, and large galleries to display paintings and sculptures. Visitors felt like they were walking through a work of art. What is inside the museum? The Rijksmuseum has more than 1 million objects in its collection. It tells the story of the Netherlands, from the Middle Ages to modern times. One of the most famous paintings in the museum is The Night Watch by Rembrandt. This painting shows a group of soldiers getting ready for a night patrol. Visitors love this painting because it feels so real and full of life. Another famous painting is The Milkmaid by Johannes Vermeer. It shows a woman pouring milk, and it looks very peaceful. People admire how Vermeer painted the light and shadow so perfectly. A museum for everyone. The Rijksmuseum is not just for art lovers. It also has old maps, weapons, ship models, and furniture. There is something for everyone to enjoy. The museum has a special section called the Gallery of Honor. This is where the most important paintings are displayed. Visitors walk through this gallery in silence, taking in the beauty of the art, renovating the museum. Over time, the museum needed some repairs and changes. In 2003, the Rijksmuseum began a big renovation. It took 10 years to complete. During this time, architects worked hard to restore the building and make it even better. The new design kept Cuypers' original ideas but added modern touches. There is now a large glass entrance which lets in lots of natural light. The renovation finished in 2013 and the museum reopened to the public. Everyone was excited to see how beautiful it looked. The Library of the Rijksmuseum. Inside the museum, there is also a library. It is one of the most beautiful libraries in the world. The library has old books about art and history. Visitors love to walk through the shelves and imagine the stories hidden in the books. The library is still used today by students and researchers who want to learn more about the history of art. The gardens around the museum. The Rijksmuseum is surrounded by beautiful gardens. These gardens have statues, fountains, and flowers. People enjoy walking through the gardens after exploring the museum. In the summer, the museum sometimes holds open-air exhibitions in the gardens. Visitors can enjoy the art while sitting under the sunshine. Special events and exhibitions. The Rijksmuseum often has special exhibitions. Sometimes it displays works from other museums around the world. Other times it shows new objects from its own collection. Every exhibition tells a new story about art, history, or culture. These exhibitions attract visitors from all over the world. A museum for families. The Rijks Museum welcomes everyone, including families with children. There are special activities for kids, like art workshops and treasure hunts. Children enjoy learning about art in a fun way. The museum also has a cafe and a gift shop. Visitors can enjoy a cup of coffee or buy souvenirs to remember their visit. Art that inspires. The art in the Rijks Museum inspires many people. Some visitors feel emotional when they see the paintings, while others feel curious and excited to learn more. Artists from around the world visit the museum to study the techniques of the great Dutch masters. Some of them say that the Rijks Museum feels like a place full of magic and inspiration. The Rijks Museum. Today, the Rijks Museum is one of the most popular museums in the world. Millions of people visit it every year. It is a place where art, history, and culture come together. Even though the museum is very old, it continues to grow and change. New objects are added to the collection, and new exhibitions are planned every year, a symbol of Dutch pride. For the people of the Netherlands, the Rijks Museum is more than just a museum. It is a symbol of national pride. It reminds them of their rich history and cultural achievements. Every Dutch person feels proud when visitors from other countries admire the art in the Rijks Museum. It shows that art has the power to connect people from all over the world. The future of the Rijks Museum. The Rijks Museum will continue to inspire people for many years to come. As long as people love art and history, the museum will always have a special place in their hearts. Perhaps one day you will visit the Rijks Museum too. When you do, take your time to admire the paintings, sculptures, and treasures inside. It is a place full of wonder and discovery.